of 1957, a young woman climbed behind the wheel of a Mercedes 300 SL and started winning races. Her name was Mary McGee, and she was just getting started. She raced sports cars with the Sports Car Club of America, earning media attention for consistent wins that defied what anyone expected from a lady driver in the late 1950s. A 1962 Motor Trend article put it bluntly. It opened with the words, "Housewives Revolt," and closed by telling readers if they were bored with freeway traffic, to buy a motorcycle and join Mary McGee. She raced cars for years, Porsches, Ferraris, Jaguars, whatever she could get behind the wheel of, but her story was only beginning. In 1960, while racing a Porsche Spyder in Santa Barbara, a friend suggested something unusual, that Mary should try racing motorcycles to sharpen her car racing skills. Her response, "Okay, why not?" A female road racer was unheard of in the United States at the time. The American Federation of Motorcyclists made her try out before they'd let her compete. They needed to see if she could actually ride. She passed easily. Mary became the first woman to road race motorcycles and hold an FIM license in the United States on a 125 cubic centimeter Honda, wearing a pink polka dot helmet that became something of a signature. She raced motorcycles through 1963, earning enough points to run the number 20 plate, a mark of real standing in the sport. At a New Year's Eve party in 1963, an actor named Steve McQueen pulled Mary aside and told her something simple: get off that road bike and come out to the desert. She listened. Her first desert race was an AMA Enduro through Jawbone Canyon, riding a 250 cubic centimeter Honda Scrambler while the men around her rode 650s. They told her it would be easy. It wasn't. She rode through snow, exhausted, and finished anyway. It was the beginning of a new chapter. By 1967, Mary was racing Husqvarna motorcycles and had started competing in the brutal desert races of Baja California, a proving ground that would soon become the setting for the single greatest achievement of her career. In 1975, Mary McGee did something no one, man or woman, had ever done. She entered the Baja 500 alone, no relief rider, no co-pilot, just her and a 250 cubic centimeter Husqvarna against 500 miles of unforgiving Mexican desert. There was no cell service, no nearby hospitals. She carried Percodan in case she crashed badly enough to need it, knowing that if she did, she'd still have to ride to find help. She came off the bike more than once. She kept going. She passed 17 two-man teams along the way and crossed the finish line having done what nobody believed was possible. In her own words, "It was the hardest thing I ever did." She became the first person in history, man or woman, to Ironman the Baja 500 solo. That motorcycle disappeared from public view for nearly 50 years.
This is the story of how I found it. A few months before I found this bike, I came across that same 1962 Motor Trend article. Housewives Revolt. It introduced me to Mary's story for the first time, and it stuck with me. So when an old beat-up Husqvarna turned up at a local estate auction here in Utah, something made me look closer. The tank still had faded lettering on both sides. It read, Mary McGee, Wheel Sport, Portland, Oregon. I knew exactly what I was looking at. The bike came from the estate of Mr. Drussel, a former Husqvarna racer himself, who had quietly kept this motorcycle garaged for over 30 years. He never restored it. He never parted it out. He just knew it mattered. I won the bike at auction. And not long after, I was able to reach Mary's family and let them know it had been found. That the motorcycle from her legendary solo ride across Baja was still out there all these years later. Mary McGee passed away in November of 2024. But her story, and the machine that carried her across 500 miles of desert when no one thought it was possible, is still here. This is that motorcycle. And this is her story.